Well, after 50 years of legislative service, longtime Senator and former Governor Dick Cody is trading his trips to Trenton for retirement. He leaves as the longest-serving lawmaker in New Jersey history, retiring nearly 5 decades to the day he was first sworn in, spending 8 years in the Assembly, 42 in the Senate, 2 stints as Senate President, and 14 months as governor following Jim McGreevy's resignation. It's quite a run, and he joins me now. Governor, good to see you. Why on earth would someone want to spend 50 years in Trenton?
Because every day you're helping people, dealing with people, and I enjoy people and enjoy doing things for people. And thought I did a good job. People related to me. So I'm blessed in many, many ways.
You, of course, are known for your work with mental health, maternal health, the ban on indoor smoking,
Yes.
The negotiations for MetLife Stadium,
Oh, yeah.
the undercover governor. You went into a state psychiatric hospital, into a shelter in Newark.
You've done your homework.
Yeah, I've been covering you for a couple of years.
I'm unusual, obviously.
How did you find your path in the legislature for what you wanted to work on?
I just thought, I didn't want to be a ho-hum legislator. I wanted to be different and get things done. And when you do it in a dramatic fashion, it makes it easier to get it done. So when you go into a psychiatric hospital, which is a dump at that time, after you come out, it gets fixed up. I had one that I worked at for a week, and I took the fake identity of a murderer and another of an armed robber and applied for a job there.
I remember the beard.
They hired me. Wait a minute, look at this, check them out, whatever. And as a result of that, that facility was closed because they weren't doing anything to help those people with mental illness. It was just, it was a disgrace. So I got a letter after that came out from parents of one of those patients who said for the first time in many, many years, he's talking lucidly, and that's a treasure.
Why, though, does it take something dramatic, your words, to make that change?
Well,
as someone who spent the time there, I mean, I think people get frustrated, right, by red tape, by the bureaucracy of it all.
Well, a lot of people are afraid to speak up, especially when you're dealing with people who has a loved one who's mentally ill and they don't have much money, or maybe...
Or in general. I mean, within state government, the frustration is typically that it's slow moving, that it takes a long time to make change. As someone who's been on the inner walls of the mechanics of it, why is that?
Change can come quick. You can speak up and you get to the right source. Things can get done. I remember there was 2 women, they were twins, and one wanted to donate her kidney, one of her kidneys, to her sister, and the insurance company, health insurance company, was giving them a runaround for months and months and months, and the one sister was getting obviously very, very sick, and they called me. And within 3 weeks, she had the operation. I just got on the phone with that company and said, hey, get the damn operation done and get it done now. So for them, that was a phone call of a lifetime.
You've also, Governor, been pretty vocal about party bosses. How do you survive in a political climate like New Jersey's when party bosses have quite a bit of say? I mean, everything down to the ballot.
Well, I've survived. I run against the organization many times and won. People say, oh, you can't win. Hell, you can't. Make your case. We made our case on numerous occasions, and you won. But there's good party bosses, and there's bad party bosses.
Who are the bad party bosses?
Well, they don't live around this area.
Where do they live?
I don't want to go south on anyone.
We get it. Okay, but then I have to ask then, sure. You ran in the primary. You ousted your colleague Nia Gill, who was moved into the district after the maps were redrawn. And then 2 months later, you announce your retirement.
Correct.
And then ultimately, the ticket gets decided by party bosses. Is that not a little hypocritical?
I don't know if it was. Listen, the party boss there is Leroy Jones, a good friend of mine, who ran off the line against the party with me back in '93 in a known his family a long time. So like I said, there's bad party bosses and there's good party bosses, and you know, they exist. You got to fight them, and some people stand up and do the right thing, and the people who are representing me in the legislature are very happy with it, especially John McKean. He's been a long time friend and a good legislator.
Were you upset at all about how it played out with the Gills switching names on the ticket? First it was Brendan, it was his wife, it was Brendan, it was his wife.
Well, that was up to Mr. Jones to make that decision. So I think at the end of the day, he made a right decision.
Let me move on. There was a number of bills, obviously, that you have either sponsored or co-sponsored. And I'm thinking about the indoor smoking ban because that was something that you were really passionate about. It has not yet made it for the casino workers. Is there
Right.
something more you think could have been done to get that over the finish line?
When I was governor, I instituted the smoking ban in the state of New Jersey, and I'm extremely proud of it. We saved the lives of many New Jerseyans because of it. Smoking is only allowed in New Jersey in a casino. And it's allowed because the party bosses in South Jersey do business with the casinos, and they've been able to stop it in the legislature. Very sad, but true. Hopefully that will change. I don't know if it will, though, but it's a very, very small group of people.
What will you miss and who will you miss most from your time in the legislature?
No, just being around the people in the legislature and all the good people who worked there and who worked for me and under me and did a fantastic job. You know, I loved every minute of it. Somebody was talking to me or talking about the day I made a speech to the legislature, and the teleprompter broke down, which it did.
Mm-hmm.
So I had practiced it so many times that I basically had memorized it. But every time I got a round of applause, I'd step aside and I'd say to the clerk, "The damn teleprompter is broken. Tell somebody."
You had a lot of good times there. Should we expect to see, like we've seen from past governors and senators, a Cody Institute, a think tank of politics at some university?
I don't know if I can think that high, but you know, people like Tom Kean, Brendan Byrne. I mean, you know, I idolize those people. In fact, I was actually a chauffeur for the Kane family a couple times.
This was pre-legislative
Oh yeah,
service?
yeah. So there's some great stories there.
Senator Governor Dick Cody, thank you for your public service and thank you for your time.
Thank you.